What's good, viewer? This is Spanky, and if my appearance is not appeasing to you, I'm sorry. I just got out of the gym, sweaty, don't care, ready to go to bed, drinking, and I'm ready to open up this Berserk Skull Knight 3A. This is the reissue. I'm so happy they came out with this because I was ready to pay over $1,000 for the old one before they came out with this, especially after getting the guts and realized they're coming out with the Griffith, and then they came out with this. Dude, I'm so happy. I hope they keep coming out these. I would really like to see a Casca, and how incredible would it be to get the apostle form of oh my gosh, why is his name escaping my brain right now? The guy that Skull Knight fights all the time. Oh, I was thinking of Nosferatu Zod. I don't know why that name Zod just totally emptied my mind. But the case here, usually we look at the box. The box is just too big. It's a 1/6 scale. I do like this picture of Skull Knight on there. It looks really, really cool. That'd be like a really cool tattoo, actually. And it just, top comes off straight like that. And I don't know how much I want to see. I don't know how similar this box is as a reissue. Everything's just kind of lifting straight out of here, it seems like. I'm not sure if this is all the same. We got a little instruction manual. Here, let's just go through that real quick. Whatever that is, and some instructions. I guess I'll have to read that later. It looks like some warning signs there, like don't do this, don't do that. Pull out these hands first, and I'll show you those. Looks like we're gonna get at least 3 sets of hands, the hands he has. And then these look like sword holding hands, maybe. God bless. Yeah, so it's basically the same hands. It just swapped, I guess. Left hand, right hand, and they're basically the same, except like this is the same as that and this is the same as that. They all look like they hold swords. It's not very dynamic. Hopefully this third set of hands is a little bit better. It smells nice. I know you can't smell it, but it smells like nice rubbery plastic. I like it. Great detail. Some weathering. Nice rose. Sticks out there. Got some, this isn't leather. Obviously it's just rubber, but it's like leather straps kind of detail even around here on the sides, even some weathering on the back. I really like that. You know, battle damage right here. I guess it's not really much, but I don't know. He fights Zod a lot. You'd think there'd be some chinks in his armor, but I won't ruin the plot on what this sword is exactly and why it looks the way it looks, because to tell you about it, I would have to ruin the plot actually a little bit. You'd have to ruin kind of several different points of the plot, but this is kind of a, let's say this is an upgraded sword for the Skull Knight here. Some vine looking things going on here. I don't even know how he holds on to this with all these spikes. Looks owie. Then we get some of the, I don't wanna ruin it for anybody. We'll just call them eyes there for now. Nice crystal clear look to it. That looks beautiful. This is a really nice sword here. And here's just kind of this regular sword going on here. I've always kind of found it interesting how his sword has spikes in it. It's almost like the Berserk armor on Guts. Like when he uses it, it hurts him. It almost seems like this sword kind of works in the same way, which would be, you know, consistent in the story, but I don't know if that's ever. I've read all the books, even caught up online to like the most recent stuff that's not even out in the books yet, past like volume 14 of the collector series, and he never actually mentions these spikes hurting him, kind of like the Berserk armor does. But it does mention that the armors are made by the same guy and they work in a very similar manner. So I'm not really sure how I'm gonna do this review. As I've already said, the background's a mess. It's almost Valentine's Day. Look, y'all, I don't care. I just wanted to open this and show it to y'all. It's already a reissue, so there's probably plenty of reviews out there. But let's just give you a good look of the figure the best I can. It's just like, dang, look at his calf muscles, dude. It's almost, look at that. This figure is pretty amazing. I'm so happy they reissued it. In some ways, I think this is a lot better than the Guts figure. I can't wait for Griffith to come out. He stands really well. One of my personal issues with these, is it ThreeZero? These are ThreeZero 3A. I know, right? I'm a reviewer, I don't even know. Is that a lot of times they don't stand well. This one stands perfectly fine. Got the eyes up. You look, y'all should be thanking me because I risked my life opening this because these are freaking sharp. That's actually one of the warnings on here saying that you could bleed to death. So be careful. Ow. But going on the back, a little more spiky. Let's see if we can't lift up this skirt. Ooh. It's got more detail back here. Look at that spine. This is cool. We got some cloth cape with some weathering, a couple holes poked through it, I guess. I would be careful because every time I'm flipping around, I'm using his head, but I'm hitting these. I don't want to break one of these off. They seem pretty thin plastic. They are very sharp, very nice. And it is difficult actually getting the batteries in here. And while I'm on the topic, let me show you all. These are the batteries that I used. I already had them for the Berserk figure, or I say the Berserk figure, the Guts figure. There's 364. I had to get them off Amazon. I couldn't find them at like, Walmart or anything. So that's what you'll need for these figures right here. These will work. I got them off Amazon. I would have liked, a little bit more in the hands, maybe like a pointing hand, an open hand, not just a bunch of like partially open hands. All of them look like they could hold a sword. I'm sure the sword's gonna be kind of a pain in the butt to put in, but I'll see if I can't do that for y'all at least. I wasn't gonna get into articulation. I think I will here a little bit. About 90 degrees there, almost 180 on the shoulders. There is some articulation there, and I guess we'll call them shoulder pads. But that's about it right there. Here's the legs, and then you can see I got it up. So this back leg is straight and this one's not. That's about as far as it'll go. When I pull it up, it was a bit of a ratchet, but I just don't think people are buying this for the articulation, especially when it comes to 1/6 scale figures. You kind of get your simple poses, but you're here mostly just for the sculpt and the paint apps and just the overall look. Further emphasize my point about kind of just no one's getting this for their articulation or the crazy poses. I mean, here's the ab crunch, but I just don't see anybody actually ever doing this. Maybe there might be some photographers. There's kind of the head swivel comes up a little bit, and you need the head because to move up a little bit as well, because you got to get access back there. That's how you turn on and off the lights for the eyes. And this will probably be the first and only time I ever use those batteries, but I mean, it is what it is. This armor will move a little bit right here. That's to help out with the ab crunch. I chose just to swap out one hand. I tried to use this hand at first, but the sword was really loose in it. And I used this one because it was just easier, I should say. Harder to get that one in and easier to get this one in. And then I just tried it. And I'm really against it. My fingers got in the way. But I did actually use hot water just because it's a very expensive figure and I didn't want to break it. I used hot water to put this peg in. I just ran my faucet. It steams, so that means it's basically boiling hot water. And I put it under there for about 90 seconds and that seemed to do the trick to get that hand in. So I'm not even gonna mess with this hand actually. I don't wanna deal with it because this cuff, once you take the hand off, will kind of just slide right out. And then you're not gonna get really articulation at all here in the hands or the wrists because this is gonna block it. So I just don't see the point and I'm just gonna slide this shield on anyways. So this shield just kind of slides right on there. It'd probably be preferable if you take this off, but I think it would be very difficult to slide that on there to use any other hand. And I would probably just suggest doing it the way I did and just shoving it past this. This part went on pretty easy, it's a little bit wider. This one a little bit more difficult. I think just it was so difficult taking off these hand pegs with this hand that I would recommend personally just slide it on there like that. It seems to work fine. And then one cool detail that I barely noticed looking at the instructions is that this sword will actually just slide right through here, which is pretty neat. I probably won't display it like that. I only got one hand, but it'll go all the way down, which is pretty cool. I'll display it with this one. I'm very happy with this figure overall. I have no complaints when it comes to articulation or paint apps. Again, I'll reiterate, I didn't buy this for articulation. I bought it for the look, and I knew it was gonna look great. 3A always pretty much delivers when it comes to look. That's just been my experience. Where they usually lack is articulation, and just when I say that, I mean not in the sense of like fully articulated SH figure arts, but more in the sense of like loose pegs. And this one does not have that issue that I'm noticing so far. Maybe because he's so armored. I have a lot of issues. I keep saying 3A, I think. 3-0. 3-0, it's one of the threes. Is it on here? It is 3-0. End of the review, finally got it right. So a lot of 3-0 and 3A figures. They're probably the same company. Someone tell me, comment below. Well, they usually have really bad, really notorious for having bad ankle pegs, but I think with the armor here, we're not gonna see that issue. Did I already go over it? This has like bendy wire in it. I don't remember if I did or not, but it's got bendy wire. But I love this figure. I'm a big Berserk fan. Absolutely my favorite manga. Great figure. I love this sword, the sculpt, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, highly recommended. Go check it out. Thanks for watching. Peace. Look, Yusuke, it's nothing personal. It's that this is just my favorite manga show, okay? You're a great anime. You're still my favorite anime, y'all. Alright? Alright, y'all, you're still my favorite anime. It's just, you've been replaced by a better manga. That's all. You'll still get a spot in the show. Don't worry. What'd you say? What'd you say, guys? You said, if you're still here, like, comment, and subscribe. Or you'll cut them in half.